Brakathiah Howell, Brakathiah Shai, Brakathiah Howell, Brakathiah Shai, Brakathiah Howell, Brakathiah Howell, Ba'ashim Yahushai, Bahashim, Rakakodash, that belongs to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone True Well. Salutations to all the elect out there, man. You brothers that do this thing, yeah, most truth and sincerity. On the pre-Shimon, and this week's topic is going to be entitled, Just Because His Father is quote-unquote white doesn't mean he's a tear. Of course, we know that the tears are heathens that are sown. What do I mean sown? Okay, so you have scripture telling us in the book of Numbers 1:18 that the decree their pedigrees or your nationality is determined by what your father is, right? And now sometimes when we out there teaching, you might have a dark skinned quote unquote dark skinned person come out and tell you that yeah, my father is white, my mom is black. And, certain Israelite groups will automatically rule them off as a tear. Oh nah, fuck that. Your father's white. You know, you gotta be a heathen. And I'm here to tell you that's not so. You know what I'm saying? This is the book of First John, chapter 4, verse 1. Beloved, believe not every spirit, but try the spirits whether they are of the most high. Because many false prophets are going out into the world. So you have to try a man's spirit, man. All right. The picture above, of course, I got Bob Marley, and Bob Marley as a so-called white-looking pops. You know what I'm saying? But you know, Bob Marley's an Israelite. Why? Because the spirit he has, and you can see it in his sons, Damien and Ziggy, that they straight up Jakes, man. All right. They have the spirit of an Israelite. All right. And you know, you can't be carnal minded in this thing. You have to be a spiritual minded man. All right. Now, you know, when we first come in, first learn this truth, and you know, you're not really on a level yet, you know, you'll just, yeah, fuck it, Bob Marley's a 10, man, he a 10. But you know, when you go on this thing, you understand that, hey man, this guy with all the spirit that he got, man, despite his father being having the appearance of a soul, his father's actually a wheat. You know what I'm saying? I'll say it like that. His father looks like an another nation, okay? But guess what, man? They're Israelites, man. All right, so I'm gonna jump to a few scriptures showing that. Listen, man, you can't just straight up just say, "Okay, fuck, you get the hell out of here, man. You a devil." Unless, of course, the dude, even though he's dark skinned and has a white pops, pretty much doesn't have the spirit of an Israelite. You know, if he comes off like a heathen, then he's a goddamn heathen. All right, you gotta judge these things spiritually. You gotta remember, at the end of the day, when Yahushua comes and returns, he's not coming to deliver bodies. All right, these flesh ain't gonna inherit the kingdom of heaven. The Most High, Yahweh Shem Yahushai, Son is coming to deliver spirits, man. All right, so that's what we're dealing with. We're dealing with the spirit here at Great Millstone, man. All right, so I'm gonna go to the book of Romans, chapter 8, verse 16. It says, "The Spirit itself bear witness with our spirit that we are the children or the sons of the Most High." Yeah, who's that we? All right, the we are the chosen, Israel, and within Israel you got a chosen. All right, but primarily, let's just talk about Israel as a whole, man. We use that scripture to identify that our people fit this prophecies, man. All right, because that's the spirit. The spirit um, is a spirit of prophecy. When you look at Deuteronomy 28 and you look at the certain characteristics of the Israelites, you read about them. Okay, who fits that? The Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans. All right, and we know that our people has been dispersed or scattered, going all the way back, man, all the way back during the time of Egypt till now, man. So we scattered every single place, all the four corners. So you're gonna have Israelites look like all manners of people, man. All right, and you're gonna have Jakes. It might look like Moabites that link back up with the black woman. And guess what? All right, you can't rule that out. You can't rule that possibility out. You can't rule out Jakes that straight up look like a heathen and linking up with an Israelite woman, whether it be a Latino, so like a Latin American woman or a so-called Afro-American woman, or you know, linking up with the tribes, a Native American woman. You can't rule that dude off as a tail. You gotta try his spirit, see what he about. You know what I'm saying? Okay. So what I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna jump to Galatians chapter 5, verse 25. It says, "If we live in the spirit, let us also walk in the spirit, man." All right. And again, we have to remain spiritual in this thing. We have to be, you know, again, when you first come in, you're kind of a bit carnal minded, you're a bit hasty, you're a bit overzealous, really. You know what I'm saying? And then after a while, you get a bit more patience. And then again, as I say through the scriptures, through the spirit, to be spiritual is to be scriptural, man. So you just got to revert back to the scriptures in your thinking and how you approach each action, man. The scriptures speak about be not hasty to judge a matter. The scriptures tell us that the flesh profit nothing. All right, so we gotta judge a man's spirit, man. See what he about. You know what I'm saying? Just because again, he's, you know, yeah, I got a white pop. So where he from? He from Germany. Oh well, guess what? You had Jake's up in Germany. He is straight up. His father is German. His father's father is German, man. Well. Listen, hey, I'll say this much. If your father's go back to an Israelite, hey, then you an Israelite. If that guy got a jazzy spirit, man, all right, and you could kind of pick up certain things that Israel do. Hey, we were speaking about it at the camp. It's like not at the camp, at the Wednesday show. This guy Bobby Flay, Bobby Flay looked like a straight up Edomite, man, straight up and down Edomite. But he kind of he cooked like Jake. All right, when if your brothers are familiar with the cooking channel, you look at this guy Bobby Flay. He cooks like an Israelite. Like, what do I mean by that? Like, you might look at the heathens and shit. They'll tell you take 2 pints of this and a quarter of that and perfect measurements. That Bobby Flay, he just cook with like a spirit. Like you just throw it in. You know what I'm saying? Hey, but that's just a side note, man. But there's different things that Israel just do. You like, damn, that's just straight up Israel, man. How we just flow. Like nobody got to tell you how to dance. You just know. You don't. Okay, when you do this dance, you're gonna take one step and then you're gonna turn. Nah, you just flow in the spirit type shit. That jazzy spirit that Jake got. Hey, Bob Marley had it. All right, and that cannot be fake, man. It can't be counterfeited, man. All right, and the spiritual man will see that. All right, but beyond that now, all right, beyond like those type of things, the primary thing is these scriptures. Okay, if you have a guy. My father's a straight up Chinese, man. He's straight Chinese. There's no mix in him. Well, guess what, man? If he starts to click with these scriptures and this word is hidden to him, well, we know what the scriptures say. We got to be scriptural, correct? And the scripture says he showed his words unto Jacob. He has not dealt so with any nation. You know? Hey, so hey, matter of fact, you had a guy out there in the UK. He was in the UK camp, all right? He looked like a straight up wheat. You know what I'm saying? But then he got discouraged, man. He started to say, listen, man, I checked my genealogy. I'm straight European. Well, nigga, if you'd have kept to the basics, you'd have known that the Lord don't show his words onto no goddamn heathens, man. There's things for Israel. But guess what? He threw them basics out the window. He didn't remain scriptural or spiritual, man. So that's the basic of these scriptures, man. And you got to hold that no matter how many years you've been in this thing. Because, again, we always use a Bach as a primary example for turning back that Israelite that looked like a so-called Chinese person, but the guy was dripping in flavor, man. The guy had all types of sauce, man. Anybody with a spiritual backbone will see that, a spiritual eye will see that, hey, man, this guy's a straight Jake. This book of 1 Samuel chapter 16, verse 7. It says, but the Lord said unto Samuel, look not on his countenance or on the height of his stature, because I refused him, for the Lord seeth not as man seeth. Yeah, the Most High ain't looking at no man on his outward appearance, man. It says, for man look on the outward appearance, but the Lord Yahweh B'Shem Yahushua look on the heart. All right, the Most High looks on the man's spirit. All right, that's what the Most High is really dealing with. He's dealing with spirits, man, and that's what His Son is coming to deliver, righteous spirits, man. We're not dealing with the outside, man. I always use this analogy. If I send you to the store, if I say, yo, you got some orange juice in your crib, and you say, yeah, and you bring the orange juice down in a water bottle, I'm not going to say, damn, this is, I'm not going to refuse it. Because why? Because you gave me orange juice. I don't care about what pretty much container you use. I don't care if you poured the orange juice in a used grape juice bottle or whatever. The point is, you gave that, you gave one more to ask for. I want that orange juice. I'm dealing with the inner part, not the bottle itself. And that's how the Most High is working with spirits, man. He doesn't care about the bottle, but what's inside the bottle. All right? Now, let me see what else I got. This is 2 Corinthians chapter 10, verse 7. It says, do ye look on things after the outward appearance? If any man trust to himself that he's in Yahushua, let him of himself think this again, that as he is Yahushua's, even so are we Yahushua's, man. So yeah, don't be judging on the outward appearance, pretty much, man. All right, you can't just Israel all gotta look like Shaft. Israel all gotta, you know what I'm saying? Their parents got to go back to this, and just, hey, I'll say this much, man. You got even guys that refuse the Northern Kingdom, man. All right, we was dealing with that a summer ago. All right, me and the brother Yonathan, we was dealing with that a summer ago. You have Israelites out there that's teaching that all Israel got to be dark skinned, despite how jazzy the Latinos, the Latin tribes, and the Native American tribes. Oh, you got niggas that we got to be dark skinned. We all got to be dark skinned, dark or light skinned. You see what I'm saying?
You thinking like that? You on no type of spiritual level. You a spiritual baby, man. All right. And I'm gonna give an account in the scripture where I like to use this brother Achior, which shows that they've been trying the spirits way back when, man. I'm going to the Apocrypha. Let's go to Achior. And we did a show on this. Just like Cornelius, or the Ethiopian eunuch, just because it says you of another nation in the scriptures, all right, hey, brothers still search spirits, man, and found out that these guys were actually Israelites, man, such as Cornelius, such as the Ethiopian eunuch, and such as, I'm going to give an example now, Achior, in the book of Judith. It says, then said Achior, the captain of all the sons of Ammon. Wait a minute now. So he got to be an Ammonite. He's a captain of all the sons of Ammon, right? Well, no, now. Let's read it now. It says, let my Lord know now hear a word from the mouth of thy servant, and I will declare unto thee the truth concerning this people. I'm not going to read all that. All I want to read is just the fact that Achior was identified with the sons of Ammon, man. All right? All right, so, and thou, Achior, a hireling of Ammon. All right, so, he was a hireling of Ammon. He was dealing with the Ammonites, okay? But now, this is what we're going to do now. We're going to jump. Even this, it says, Judas 14:5. It says, before you do all these things, call me Achior the Ammonite. Right? And I'm going to jump to that. It says, then they called Achior out of the house of Ozias, and when he was come and saw the head of Holofernes in a man's hand, in the assembly of the people, he fell down on his face, and his spirit failed. But when Judith had recovered him, as Judith's feet, he reverenced her and said, blessed art thou in all thy tabernacles of Judah, and in all nations which hearing thy name shall be astonished. Now what I want to do is, it says in verse 10 now, it says, and when Achior had seen all that the Most High of Israel had done, he believed in the Most High greatly, and circumcised the flesh of his foreskin, and was joined unto the house of Israel unto this day. See that? Now wait a minute. What I want to do now is I want to jump back into the scriptures. Now remember, it says he was the captain of the Ammonites, right? I'm going to prove something now. We're going to go to the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 23, verse 1. Verse 3, Deuteronomy 23:3. An Ammonite or a Moabite shall not enter into the congregation of the Lord Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai, even to their 10th generation shall they not enter into the congregation of the Lord Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai forever. But wait a minute, Achior just got entered and got circumcised and joined onto the house forever. Is there confusion with the Most High? Of course not, man. Alright, that guy was an Israelite. Okay? Hey, so that was just a quick example of just delving in the scriptures a bit. When you see that, you see certain characters, for instance, Timothy's pop being called the Greek, so on and so forth, man. All right, you can't just stop at the Father. You got to keep trying the Spirit. You know what I'm saying? I know that was heavy, back in the old schools, whatever your father is, and, as the apostles give account, lighter skinned brothers of the northern tribes is also being looked at funny because, Israel was young at the time, man. All right, we was just really now we're more deeper in the Spirit. All right, and we're growing in the Spirit. We got to do lessons like this, man. And listen, man, you can't just refute a guy just because he says his pops is of another nation, man. Still continue to try that man's spirit. Even if he tells you his pops from some straight up Japan and his pops is from Japan. Listen, man, you can't refuse him until you can whip out a straight up documentation tracing your genealogy back to the 12 tribe side, man. All right, this thing is all spiritual. Hey, with that, man. Well, again, filter it all through this word, man. If this thing clicks with that, man, hey, then again, just that the Most High ain't gonna give this precious word to another nation, man. Hey, with that, I'm gonna give all praises to Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai, Ba'ashem Rakal Kodash, double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Mill, so well. And salutations to the hopeful elect out there, you brothers that sincerely do this thing in the utmost truth and sincerity. Shalom.